Good evening, CAN TV viewers. Thank you for tuning in to the Doty Report on Comprehensive Health. My name is Yolanda Gibbons, and I am the host. And we are so happy that you are with us again tonight. The Georgia Doty, this news report or this show is a segment of the Georgia Doty Comprehensive Health Organization where Mr. Don Doty is the president and CEO. It is an organization that's been around for many years, being an advocate for addressing the issues of health within our community. So this show was created so that we can continue to be a platform to educate, provide information, to connect you, the viewers, our community, to valuable resources, and to allow people like health professionals and like our guests here today to share their story and hopefully be able to encourage you and give you some information that will be helpful in living a healthy lifestyle. So let's get to it. I'm very, very excited about our guest because I know her personally, and she is here. We are going to be talking about domestic violence. We're going to be talking about cancer a little bit. She's going to be sharing information about her new nonprofit. So we are closing out this month of it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month and Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So I thought that she would be a great guest to close out this month as we just continuously try to raise awareness on these issues that affects the health of our community. So let me introduce to you, and we're going to get right into it. Viewers, don't forget that you are free. We welcome you to call in with any questions or any comments. Again, this is the Doty Report on Comprehensive Health, a segment of the Georgia Doty Comprehensive Health Organization. So my guest for today, I'm so excited to have her. This is Shondell Brown. Shondell is a nurse that I just found out. Been knowing her for years, but she is a nurse. She is the owner of Dream Creations Gift Boutique, and she is now the founder of Crown Adjustment, right? And we're going to talk a little bit about that. But she is also a domestic violence survivor, and she is actually winning the battle of cancer today, currently. So she's going to share a little bit. So we're going to get right into it, talk about domestic violence. So share a little bit about your story or being in a domestic violence relationship.
Well, one of the things that I want to share is one of the things that I did while in a domestically violent relationship is hide it. So I did hide it, and I think I did pretty good. I don't think the people around me were aware of what I was going through. Basically, I was very young. So I was, I believe, 18.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. When I got into the relationship actually was about 5 years, and it was a lot of unexpected, circumstances that you could not predict what the next move would be, what you might experience. It wasn't a lot of unpleasant or tension. But it was just in a split second things could change. So that's what, that's kind of the angle that I experienced it from. I know a lot of people have different experiences of how it went on, but that's what.
So, were there any, you said 5 years in, is that 5 years in before it became violent, you mean? Or did it start off right away? Were there any kind of telltale signs? And you were young. 18
I was
is
very
really
young and not really aware enough to recognize that that was not okay. Not, didn't know enough about it to recognize that I deserved better.
Right.
But were there any signs? I would have to say basically just the character traits were just the fact that there was a short temper.
Okay.
So outside of that, I would have to say not a whole lot of, red flags.
Right.
That were, say that I can remember a lot of red flags that were ignored.
Right. So you hid it. How did you hid it from your family?
I hid it from everybody.
So what would you say now to someone who's in the relationship? Because the whole month of October is all about breaking the silence. Yeah. Why is that so important? I mean, we know the dangers of it, but just can you share anything just about why it's so important? The viewers can hear why it's so important to share.
The most important thing is I just want to make sure that someone hears. A lot of people don't make it out. So it's important to speak up because it's important to preserve your own life. And so it's just, there's love doesn't hurt. It shouldn't hurt.
Right.
And so when you're in a situation where you're not supported emotionally and you're not supported, and you're being violated physically, you have to do something for yourself.
Right.
And that's separate yourself from the equation.
Right. It is so important that we break this silence and try to break some of this cycle of being, I think especially probably being young. Who wants to, like, say my boyfriend or my husband hit me? You don't really want to share that with people. And somehow we have to let our women and men, know that it's okay to tell someone. It's so important that we tell someone that they don't feel like it's just them. Right. Or it's nothing to be embarrassed. Like, so were you embarrassed? Like,
absolutely embarrassed. But the thing about it is we have to recognize that this is not what we signed up for. So when you entered into the relationship, that wasn't a part of what was on the table.
Right.
So this was something that you found out about later on once you were already in. So it's absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. It's nothing to be, because it's not something that you did to yourself. It's something that you need to be strong enough to separate yourself from.
Right. So you heard it from a survivor. She is out of the situation now. Have been for a while, right?
Many years.
Many years. So she has a lot to share, and it's just important that we know that if you're out there in this relationship, or if you know someone, right?
Absolutely.
If you know someone that's in a relationship, that you speak out, and there is help out there, and I'm going to share a hotline as we get towards the end of the show. So we're going to move right on to, again, like I said, I had her here because she's a survivor, and you are currently thriving, winning this fight against cancer. And it's not breast cancer, but they tell cancer is cancer.
Absolutely.
So can you share a little bit about, what type of cancer and, what you want to share about that?
Well, basically, it is a lymphoma. It's a form of blood cancer, and it's called mycosis fungoides. It's very rare.
Okay.
And it's not something that it's not very popular, and it's not easy to diagnose.
Okay.
So it's something that you may ignore. Basically, the way that it showed itself in my life was little white spots in my skin. So after a while, they started to become more and more, and so I went and had a biopsy, which actually I was misdiagnosed, and it took over a year to actually get the diagnosis. So I was living with cancer and not knowing.
Wow.
Just the same, after the diagnosis, I started treatment, and that's where I am now. I've been in treatment for 1 year.
Okay. Okay. So did you have any, so I know you said the white spots, but anything else going on with your body different? Was it just the white spots that made you go to your doctor and say, what is this? What's going on? The
spots were the things, that was what was really like the biggest red flag. But there was a lot of fatigue. It was unexplainable, where you getting enough sleep, but you still just not enough energy and not able to explain why. And my constant responses. I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm tired, but not really knowing why.
Okay.
But after the results of the biopsy, it became clear that this is why, because it does, it affects the energy level.
Okay. Okay. And so what type of treatment right now?
Well, right now I'm at 2 times a week. We have decreased once a week. But anyway, we're at 2 times a week for light therapy. Mm-hmm. It's a form of radiation through lights. And 3 times a week for chemo. Okay. And it's low dosage, but I'm maintaining very well.
So what has that been like for you in your life and just your overall health? Have you has had to change your diet? How have you dealt with just having to this is something that you have to deal with daily?
Mostly I had to change my schedule because I had to be at treatment all the time. But anyway, but that was the most part. It was just the schedule, and initially, very early on, I had some side effects, which I have gotten to the point where I'm managing much better with the side effects. And in reference to the both treatment and chemo. Mm-hmm. So both of them were, I had very little, but I did have some side effects. Mostly just really, really tired, really sleepy, needing to rest after treatment, having to go home right away, that kind of thing. And then things started to get better. And then now I go to treatment and go straight to work. So.
Okay. So that's a blessing. So in the beginning kind of stages, did you discover any resources that was helpful to you? Were you, I've heard people had to get second opinions, any issues with like insurance, any of that going on?
I had a lot of that going on. Okay. I did have a second opinion. Well, actually, I was referred to a specialist because my doctor, as I said, did misdiagnose. So I was referred to a specialist, and then the specialist was like at sight. He was like, "No, this is not what she said it is." Mm-hmm. He probably knew from looking at it what it was, but it took about 7 days, and then we got the results. I had to transfer to a different hospital, but the issues that I had was definitely insurance. It did take a while for me to be able to start treatment because the insurance was, they were basically battling with us. So we had to keep going. I forget the name of what we were doing, but we had to keep reapplying for, and eventually I did get approved, and they were actually like trying to send me to other forms of insurance and whatever they could do, but we did get it done.
Okay. So we have a caller. Caller, are you there?
Yes.
You have a question or a comment?
Yes, I'd like to ask if, in fact, what type of cancer does she have?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
It's called mycosis fungoides. It's a form of lymphoma, which is a blood cancer. It's called mycosis fungoides. It's a form of lymphoma, which is a blood cancer.
Are you still there, caller?
Yes, thank you.
So did the doctor say? Do you have another question? Oh, okay. So did the doctor say? You said it's rare. Did the doctor say cause? Anything that caused it?
They have no idea.
Rare, and meaning,
They have no idea where it comes from. Okay. I've even, I became a part of a association where I have a mentor who is actually, she's a little bit older than me, and she's actually dealing with the exact same cancer. Okay. And so I actually got that, the referral to this organization through my church. Okay. And I, talk to her whenever I want to, but she's absolutely like super informed about everything that's going on with it. But yeah, she answers whatever questions I have and that kind of thing. So that's been pretty helpful.
Okay, so there are definitely resources available. Support, it's important to get support. There is support out there. I have a number that I'm gonna even share for that. One of the reasons too that like I mentioned earlier, I wanted to bring because okay, so I'll cut off. We have another caller. Caller, are you there?
I sure am. Hi, Miss Georgia Doty.
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay, and good evening, Shondell.
Hi.
You're looking very beautiful tonight. A very pretty shirt you have on there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And as far as your cancer's going, how you feeling these days?
I feel wonderful.
They think they got some kind of cure for you, or are they giving you some kind of spark of hope?
Well, the thing about it is this is not an aggressive form of cancer. It's one of those that what my doctor said.
That it could be nipped in the bud, huh?
No, actually what she said is I'll die with it, but not from it.
I see. See, this is what gets me mad with all the researches and all the donation money and all the runnings and all the donations we put for the cancer. They should have some kind of spark of cure. There are so many different kinds of cancer, ovarian, breast, lungs. It makes me so mad that they can't figure out on Shondell what's wrong with you and help you out and get rid of it. And some other people, their cancers are so bad, they go through so many treatment, they go through so much money. I'm glad you got help, but there's a lot of people, maybe if they get on Medicaid, if they got existing conditions with cancer forever, they're in trouble. But I wish you all the best in the world. You stay on that Georgia Doty. She's an inspiration every week to anybody sick that's in Chicago. I like your little hat. And you just stay strong. I'll say a prayer for you. And maybe someday the government will get their you-know-what together and figure out how to get rid of cancer. Now, the only pain relief they got, here we go, Miss Georgia Doty, medical marijuana.
Let's go talk about the marijuana.
Going for your pain for cancer. And y'all have a blessed evening.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye-bye, Shondell.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Do we still have another caller? We lost the caller? Okay. I think we lost the caller. They'll probably call back. So we just want folks to know, and you said something I didn't even, that you will die from it, but you have to always deal with it.
Not die from it.
Die with it. Die with it. Okay. Die with it. Okay. Is the call? We have another caller? No? Yes? No. So you'll die with it.
So it'll be, so apparently, basically what they're saying is it's something I'll be dealing with.
We have a caller?
Yes.
Okay, caller, you have a question or comment?
Hi, yeah, this question is for Shondell Brown.
Yes.
My name is Shantae Jackson.
Hi, Shantae.
Hey, how you doing? You look so pretty with your white shirt.
Aww.
Thank you.
I was just wanting to know, how do your kids feel? Do you have any children, or?
I do. I have 3 children.
How do they know, or I mean?
Good question.
Yeah, my oldest was with me when I got the results, so of course he knows. He was sitting there in the room when the doctor told us. My middle one, 14-year-old, he was told about maybe a week or so later. And the little one, well, she's watching, but she knows that mommy goes to treatment, but she has not been told exactly why.
Okay. Well, I hope everything goes well. I was just calling.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
So in both of these cases, domestic violence, dealing with cancer, anything, health related, I think it's important that people know, we know that we need family support.
You do, yeah.
So many of us want to hide, don't tell. I don't want my kids to know. I don't want to worry them, my mom, and you popular. We got another phone call. Okay, caller, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
You have a question or a comment?
How you doing, Shondell?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm fine. The question I want to ask you, by this cancer that you saying that you have, and I know that we have cancer that runs in our family, is this genetic, that it can be passed down through generation?
Good question.
This is not a basically because there is no knowledge of what this form of cancer comes from. There's no proof that it's genetic or there's no support that it's something environmental or that it came from anything in particular. It's just here.
Just rare. Good question. Very good question. We have another caller. Thank you, caller. We have another caller.
Yes. I'd like to know, is your support system or a support system and your spirituality an important factor in overcoming cancer?
Absolutely. Definitely. It definitely is. It plays a huge role. Both family, both spiritual. All of it plays a role in healing, period. Emotional, all of it it plays a humongous role.
Yeah, thanks. That was a very, very good question. We was just talking about that. We definitely spiritually and that family support and the community support, just being supportive. What's going on? We are going to go to quickly. We ain't got a lot of time. I want you to tell us about all of this, to spark something, and you are launching a nonprofit. So tell us about that.
So the nonprofit is called Crown Adjustment, and basically what Crown Adjustment is basically we all face different trials and tribulations in life, and because we are queens, when we face these issues, we have traditionally been able to and should be able to in the future bounce back to where, and so in my creative imagination, that's a crown adjustment because we are queens. And so in this, dealing with domestic violence, in order to get out, at some point you have to recognize the beauty that lies within you. And when you recognize who you are and what you deserve, then you can adjust your crown and move forward.
Okay.
So that's basically where the crown adjustment came from.
Okay.
And it applies in both of these both of these categories,
Absolutely.
whether it be, health and wellness, or whether it be the fact that you're dealing with or trying to come out of a domestically violent situation. There needs to be a crown adjustment.
Right, absolutely. So what type of resources are going to be offered?
Right now, what we're working on is interviewing women who have survived. So we're interviewing survivors, and they're going to be their stories are going to be shared on our website as well as on our social media pages. Because what happens is most times when people start to recognize that something is wrong, they may or may not speak loudly. They may or may not tell someone, but they may do some research on the internet. So the hope is that if they look and they see the website or the Facebook page, the Instagram page, that kind of thing, they'll be able to listen to these stories of these women telling how they made it out, what steps they took, what are some of the things that they were facing, and maybe that will help them to go ahead and make that call to the hotline.
I love
and
it.
move towards freedom.
I love it. I am looking forward to getting involved somehow. I don't know. I'm a volunteer myself to get involved and do something. So this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and we are both here. So really, we want you, the viewers, our community, to know that it's so important. One, that you're not alone. Two, that there are resources out there. And three, it is so important that you seek out those resources and that you don't be quiet. Have a voice. Tell someone, if you're in a situation. Tell someone if you're not feeling well. So often we're sick and we don't go to the doctor, and we have issues with insurance, but we have to fight and be advocates, definitely, for ourselves so that we can get the health care, quality health care that we need. Absolutely. No matter what situation that we are in. I want to share for those that are dealing with cancer, there is a cancer helpline for support. The number is 888-793-9355. It's a cancer support hotline, and it's 888-793-9355, as well as for domestic violence. The city of Chicago has a line, and that number is 877-863-6338. And then, of course, there's the National Domestic Violence Helpline of 800-799-SAFE. That's 7233. We want to encourage you to reach out, to seek help, to not feel ashamed or embarrassed, to not give up hope.
Absolutely.
I think you represent hope.
Thank you.
I think you represent. I got fierceness somewhere on my hair. I want this honor. I want this really an honor of her and women and all of us in the community, and just to be able to give hope. I just thought about, like, why are you here? To give some hope, to spark some hope that you can get out of those situations, and you can, fight and win. And I always call her, she a champ. She's already won the fight. And that's a good thing, because it's important for us to know that anything dealing with our health, we can do something about it.
Absolutely.
And we can change the situation, change it definitely around. I want to remind you that we have a caller. Caller, you better go quick. Are you there, caller?
Yes, I'm there.
You have a question or a comment?
No, I have a comment.
Okay.
This is Crystal Ivy, and I'm calling from Minnesota.
Okay.
I wanted to tell Shondell that I'm so proud of you,
Aww.
and I am glad that you're speaking knowledge so that people that don't know, they will know what to do.
Thank you, Crystal.
You're gonna make me cry. It is so important that we share our stories, and we all have one.
Absolutely.
But definitely yours, mine can definitely help someone. I want to remind Mr. Doty will not forgive me if I did not remind everyone that on November 28th, 2018, that the Georgia Doty Comprehensive Health Organization is hosting a breast and prostate cancer forum. It is a free event at the Charles Hayes Center. Again, that's November 28, 2018. We have some fabulous guest speakers, fabulous resources. Breakfast and lunch will be served. It is a free event. So mark your calendar, save the date. Go to our website. Look me up on Facebook for more information. Facebook.com/Yolanda Gibbons. And we thank you so much for tuning in. We're about to wrap up. We thank Miss Brown. We thank Shondell. True champion. She got me adjusting my crown.
You see.
She got me adjusting my crown. I just want to thank you for sharing your story. I really appreciate that.
Thank you. And I brought you a gift.
Oh my God.
But before I say that, I just want to say, if you are in a situation of domestic violence, please remember that you are worth more than the pain. Clear yourself from these circumstances. You don't deserve it. Love does not hurt. And if there is something wrong with your body, if you feel that something is not right, please go see someone about it. Get yourself checked holistically. I say it all the time, all cancer ain't pink. But I bought you a t-shirt.
We got
crown adjustment
crown adjustment. It's going to be a new resource.
Yes.
New nonprofit that's going to be providing that's going to give a platform.
Yeah, absolutely.
And definitely as it grows and develops, to be able to provide women and maybe men, who knows, we can just their crown, right? Just their crown, kings and queens. It is so important. All of our resources, the Georgia Doty Comprehensive Health Organization, Crown Adjustment, and all the community resources and organizations and nonprofits out there that have a true passion for helping the community. It's just so important. It's so vital that we support them, and be supportive and tap into those resources. All the organizations always looking for volunteers. So go to the Georgia Doty website. Again, you can look me up on Facebook. I can point you in the direction of some of these organizations. And I will be at the event on November 28th. So I hope to see you there. Thank you so much, Shondell. And thank you for tuning in. I'll be back next Tuesday, same time, another guest. And you guys have a great rest of the week.